What up? What up, Sam? What's good with you, yo? What's going on? Big and Duff. I grew up with that album more than radio, but those are like the early LL classics. Radio was good, and Big and Defo, that was a good album. My favorite is Mama Said Knock You Out though, but those are definitely some solid LL albums. What you been listening to lately, Sam? First two Game albums, no doubt. Classic joints, man. Documentaries are classic. Definitely love that joint. Lord Finesse, definitely underrated album. Love that joint as well. That needs a remaster. They need to remaster that album because definitely light on the bass. That ain't rap podcast. Your boy Triborough. Click the subscribe button. Get that notification up. Comment, like, share these videos, man. This is for the culture. Yo, Sam, you listen to this album yet? The Timbaland joint? What you think about it? Never heard it. I'm gonna let you know what I think about it. Let's start this review, this discussion, because today's the album anniversary for it. So and it's I don't hear nobody don't mention it. So what up, knee boy? His best solo album? You think so? I ain't even discuss it yet, yo. You think so? His best solo album? I don't know. Today's the anniversary for the album, so I'm like, yo, let me just discuss this album real quick. We'll see. I don't know. I don't want to say it's his best album yet. We'll see. Best album. I don't know. I'm starting now though. 22 years ago today, super producer Timbaland from Virginia. He dropped um his first official solo album, Tim's Bio, Life in the Basement, released on Blackground Records, Atlantic Records. Birthday is crazy. Whose birthday you talking about? And yeah, everybody knows Timbaland, super producer. Started out with Jodeci, got discovered by Devontae Swing. Started working with Missy, hooked up with Missy, did her classic stuff, and worked on Aaliyah's second album, One in a Million, in 1996. Then he came out with his little crew, The Basement. Um, yeah, that was a good song. Definitely like that song. He had his crew with Ginuwine, great R&B singer. Did his first album in '96, Pony. Went on to do other stuff with Ginuwine. Like I said, One in a Million for Aaliyah, '96, classic album. Rest in peace, Aaliyah. Did all of Missy's albums from Super Duper Fly to The Real World, So Addictive, all that hot shit from Missy back in the 2000s, late '90s, early 2000s. Came out with a group called Playa. Static Major was in that group. Rest in peace to him. Did their first album, highly underrated. So many artists. Justin Timberlake, when he went solo, did his albums, classic albums, in my opinion. I will be discussing. I'm gonna do like a album ranking for Justin very soon. Did stuff for Nelly Furtado, you name it, Jay Z, everybody in the game. So you know who Timberland is. I don't want to give like a huge backstory on him. As far as this album, he did Welcome to Our World. That was 1997 with Magoo. And after that album, he decided to come out with his own album. Renzo, what up? Salute to you. Come out with his own solo album. This was a solo album. You can see it here, Timbaland, Life in the Basement. So yeah, I think this is his partner, Danger. Danger is a producer as well. I remember picking this album up at the mall actually, because it came out around the same time as I want to say Doc's the Name 2000. and the RZA album, Bobby Digital. I remember going to Sam Goody and picking up Bobby Digital and picking this album up and not knowing what to buy. I had already known what RZA was gonna bring to that album, but buying a Timbaland album with all the features he had, Jay Z's on this, Nas, Kelly Price, Twista, Ludacris. That's like his first time ever debuting on this album, and I was like, I'm gonna get the Timbaland album. So I ended up buying it and coming home and listening to it, and it was definitely a different type of album for a producer at that time when producers wasn't really coming out with albums. We didn't have Swiss Beats dropping albums yet, and I think Jermaine had just dropped his first album, if I'm not mistaken, Life in 1472. But it was still like a new thing. So, and I was already a Timbaland fan from the Missy stuff, the Ginuwine stuff, Aaliyah, second album. Picked up the album. You know, um, we're gonna definitely talk about it, but he got basically after the success of Welcome to Our World with Magoo, he went off and did his own solo album and got all the big features from different artists he was working with at that time, and made this album. Um, the album has how many tracks? Is it? 19 tracks. Some are solo tracks with just one artist. Some are like collabs with Timbaland featuring other artists. He has a lot of different artists on here from his own stable that never came out with albums. But we'll talk about that. Um, he dropped 3 singles. First, without Ronnie, first single was "Here We Come" with Missy Elliott, Magoo, and Aaliyah on the background vocals. The second single was, I believe it was "Lobster and Shrimp" with Jay Z, and the third single was "Can't Nobody" with a group that he signed called "One Life to Live." He never came out with an album. We'll talk about that. Um, so yeah, starting off with the intro, just basically a regular intro, nothing really to it. Just introducing himself as a solo artist again. Um, the second track, I Get It On. This is like basically Timbaland rapping, and I'm not really a fan of producers rapping because they don't have a great track record. I'm not talking about like artists that are producers. I'm talking about like just super producers like a Jermaine Dupri and Swiss Beats, you know, trying to rap. I like the beat though. The beat is dope. It has like that choppy beat pattern that Timbaland was known for. Nice bass line. Is congos on the track. Timbaland also had an alter ego that he introduced on this album named Little Man. He speaks in like almost like what Madlib did with Quasimodo. He has like that uh balloon type of voice, like that helium sounding type of voice. So he's on here. Tim saying, "Give me 10 minutes. I'll hook you up with a joint that's mean from New York, VA to Cali, or points in between." It was okay. It's decent. It's not great because Timbaland's never been a great MC. Not even. I can't even call him an MC. He's like, you know, he was alright. Not a great rapper. That's what I'm trying to say. This the third track, "To My," which features Nas and man Skillz. Skillz being from Virginia. I think he's from Richmond, Virginia. Timbaland being from Virginia. That's the Virginia connection. I remember they actually had they were working on a super group called the Super Friends back in the last and that had Timbaland and Skillz. Forget the other artists that was a part of that crew. They all was working with each other at that time. And Skillz, he's on this album with 2 tracks. This is the first one he's on, and Again, I like the beat, nice hi hats, nice bass line. It has like that, like a rolling piano loop on the track. Nas to me killed it, and he's saying, um, nice knuckle game, chip tooth, way a buck and change. I want the dough, fuck the fame. Some will smoke and bombing fluid and vomit to it. I'm straight chronic. It was atomic how I blew up. Fire, fire drink. Skillz did his thing, and he says, what he said? He said something. I know I fucked up the line. He said something about spitting when it's my turn to get him. I got hot flows. I only do shows for burn victims. Fire. Chorus, like the chorus to my riders, to my niggas, to my bitches. Definitely a solid joint. This really should have been a single on this album. I don't know why they didn't drop it, but definitely it was nice to hear Nas with underrated lyricists like Mad Skillz. I always felt like he was underrated, as a MC. Um, his first album to me was underrated classic, from Where that dropped in '96. That actually dropped the same day as the score from the Fugees and All Eyes on Me. Definitely underrated album. Track 4, we get to the first single, Here We Come, featuring Missy, Magoo, Timbaland, and Aaliyah. They sampled the 1960s Spider-Man animated theme song. I remember watching that when that was in syndication when I was like 4 or 5 years old. So they sampled that theme song. I like the beat on this. The bass line is dope. You got Aaliyah singing in the background vocals. Um, Missy did had a nice verse. Um, Tim and Magoo, they were okay. I'm not really a fan of Magoo either, lyrically. Nothing really special, but it definitely fits the song. It was like a real commercial type of song, real pop. Um, so yeah, that was a dope. There has also a video for it. The video, I think I put the description in the link for it. But yeah, that was the first single. Um, you got track 5 with Your Bad Self. That's the second Man Skillz collab. Timbaland sampled another TV show theme song. This one is I Dream of Genie. He sampled that theme song. Has a nice beat, nice bass line. You got Skillz saying, kicking game to a chick, where your man at? Yo, that cat missing. I got you on the line. You mind, no fishing. So we basically kicking game to a chick and just telling her like, yo, like, you trying to get with her. What's up with me and you? Like, you don't need that other guy that you're dealing with. I thought it was dope. Definitely dope track. Something different for Skillz at that time when he came out with From Where, and you had like joints like the Non Factor and you know the body joint, Shake Your Body. That he came out with, and definitely something different from Skillz on his album than his usual stuff. Doing Time in the Cipher. That was like another favorite joint I liked off of his album. Um, so yeah, that was a dope joint, and that's just Skillz by itself. I think a lot of the songs on here were the solid tracks on here were better without Timbaland, and that's one of those songs with just Skillz on here, or you got nonsense Skillz, no Timbaland rapping, beat. That's what he's known for. I like that joint. Track 6, you got again. It's another solo joint. It's Jay-Z this time. The Lobster and Shrimp. I want to say this was the third, out of the second or third single. There's a video for this as well. Description is in the link is in the description. You got the video. They were out in South Beach, Miami, just rolling around on the beach, and you know, it's like this is like Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt era, not Reasonable Doubt, Hard Knock Life era. That was '98 also, and it's a dope beat, dope bass line. You got Jay saying stuff like You know, these bitches want to give me more head than Sade. You know, lines like that. He's saying, I hate fake bitches. You gotta wait, bitches. I don't know you. I don't fuck on the first date, bitches. You know, and classic lines from Jay on that. You know, Jay-Z and Timbaland always made the best stuff together, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So, whether it was like Jiggle What, Jiggle Who, um, Done on Your Shoulder, People's Court, even though that wasn't released, just they always had a great record together. You know, always enjoyed their collab. So definitely a side banner. We got track 7 called "What You Know About This" featuring Mocha and Baby Blue. Mocha was another Timbaland artist. She did like R&B and rap, and I believe she came out with one album. I want to say it was like 97, 98, but I wasn't a fan of this song. I didn't really pay attention to Mocha. Baby Blue is another female. She's actually the female from the group that's on this album, One Life to Live. They never dropped anything. But I didn't care for the album. I didn't care for the song. The track is cool. Didn't care for the song. Track 8, Can't Nobody. That was another single off of here, featuring One Life to Live. That's the group that Baby Blue came from. Like the beat, real nice bass line, nice guitar riff. Don't like the song. I never even heard of these, some of these artists. One Life to Live, never heard of them. I know it's like two guys and a girl. They do have a video for this. The video is in the description. But I didn't care for it though. I think some of the singles wasn't like the right singles for this album, and that's one of them. Track 9, you got What You're Talking About, featuring Static Major from Playa. Rest in peace of Static Major. He passed away a couple years ago. You got Magoo on here. Um, it's a nice beat. There's a beat switch. Like Static starts off the track and he's rapping, not really saying, you know, anything noteworthy for me to unquote. And then there's a beat switch in the middle of the track where Magoo comes on. It's like a harder type of beat. I like that part, but again, I'm not really a fan of Magoo when it comes to rapping. But it's a nice beat, but I didn't really care for this collab with Static and Magoo. Um, then you got track 10. It's called Put 'Em On, again featuring Static Major from Playa, Timbaland, and there's another female MC called Yaushameen, Yaushameen, and it's basically like a crunk track. It's real up tempo, real hype. You know, nice beat, nice bass line. There's like a bird chirping type of loop going on in the background. Um, Definitely like it has that southern flavor to it. It's like a real southern hip hop type of track. I like the beat again, but I don't really care for Timbaland rapping on this song and Static Major. I never really saw him as like a lyricist like that. The chick, Yaushameen, she was okay. She had a decent verse, but it's not one of my favorites on this album. Um, we got to track 11, Fat Rabbit featuring Ludacris. This is the first time Ludacris was on. Um, I believe this is his first time being on record. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know he dropped his independent album Incognito, but I believe this is like his first time doing like anything major with another artist. And Fat Rabbit was, I believe it was also on Back for the First Time on his debut Def Jam South album. Really dope beat, nice bass line. It's real rowdy. You got like on the chorus a lot of like a rowdy chants going on. Luda basically talking about getting some ass and saying you know Punan didn't have it, giving up that nappy dugout. Get the cut up, then I cut out while you standing there with your butt out. So definitely love it. You know, they got me on the chorus. You know, let me touch it, let me grab it. That fat rabbit, fire drink. Definitely one of the better singles on here. One of the better cuts on here. Um, Then keeping with the southern team, the southern theme, we got track 12, Who Am I, featuring Twista. Um, Really dope beat, nice bass line, nice guitars, strings. We got a Twista in his fast flow saying, "Nigga, who am I?" with the blunt steady tripping, sipping on a concoction, with the concocting, drum knocking, gotta get off bitches or killers in the front watching. Nice flow on that joint. I love Twista's flow on this. Highly underrated. Um, and you see like what Twista can do with great production when he got a Timbaland track and just murdered that joint. Definitely enjoyed that joint. One of the better songs on here. Definitely thought it should have been a single. Um, then we get to track 13, and this is definitely one of the weirdest songs I've ever heard. Definitely the weirdest song on this album. It's called "Talking on the Phone." And it's an R&B joint with Kelly Price and Missy, but it's there's different layers to this track. It's like one the way that it starts off is it's a trippy, spacey beat, and at some point along the way, like I want to say like maybe after 3 minutes in the track, Timbaland decides to remix the track on the same song. You know what I'm saying? So the beat switches up, and it's like you basically hear the same lyrics that Kelly Price sung the first time. She's singing it over again, but it's on a different beat. But it's still the same song, and this song is like 6 minutes long, and where she's basically talking about her man, her girl, her homegirl that she introduced to her man was going behind her back and talking to her man, and they were talking on the phone, and she's basically telling her girlfriend, "Leave my man alone, go get your own." So that's basically what the whole story is about with this song. But the beat switch on here is crazy. Like it starts off like really trippy, really spacey. You got all type of weird spacey sounds going on the song. You got little Timbaland's alter ego, Little Man is on this, and he's talking like a Martian and saying shit like the world isn't ready for Timbaland, and I'm on that next level shit. I'm an alien, and I liked it. I think it was a real creative song. It had a nice beat, nice bass line. I like the different mood switches and the different, drum patterns that Timbaland used for this track. You know, um, and you got Missy. Missy is on here, and she said, what did she say? She said, "Did you hear this? Did you get this? Watch Missy flip like an acrobatic. My automatic tongue tactic make flows like this. Be the motherfucking shit." So I liked her verse on here. That was dope. Um, yeah, definitely a dope song. I like the story with Kelly basically telling her homegirl like, "Yo, like back off of my man. He's mine. Go get your own." Um, Definitely, it was long. It's like 6 minutes and like 16 seconds. It's definitely a long track, the longest track on this album. But it was creative, and that's basically what Timbaland was known for, like doing different things that nobody else was trying to do at that time. And um, definitely one of the solid tracks on here. Then you get to like the bottom half of this album. Once you get to like I want to say like the Ludacris, the Fat Rabbit joint. Once you get to like Ludacris song and Twista and Kelly Price, that's when it's actually a good song. You know what I'm saying? Like you get to the good songs that like the strongest songs that probably should have been higher up on the album. Um, yeah, definitely a dope song. I definitely enjoyed that. Um, then you get to track 14, Keep It Real with Ginuwine. Love this song. Ginuwine to me is one of the underrated R&B singer. I've always liked his stuff from Pony, the first album, and the second 100% Ginuwine. I think that's a classic. Senior, solid album. He's definitely was a great R&B artist. Um, and it has this song also. It has a story with it. He's basically talking about, like a girl that he's trying to get with that was fronting on him, and he's like, I see you, staring across the room, looking at me, and don't front. I know, you're trying, you're trying to talk or whatever, so keep it real. And it has like a quirky melody, really quirky melody for like a love song, you know. But it fit like the way that genuine freaked the track. Like he definitely made it work for him. Somebody else probably wouldn't have been able to do that. Um, salute, Channel W. It had a nice beat, and definitely enjoyed this track. This should have been a single as well. I don't know why it wasn't, but we definitely should have had a video for this. I definitely could have saw a video for this joint. One of my favorites on here. Then we get to track 15, another R&B joint, John Blaze, featuring Aaliyah, rest in peace, Aaliyah, and Missy. Real melodic, mid-tempo track. We got the nice guitar strings on there, nice beat, bass line. We got Timbaland beatboxing in the background. He did that on a lot of his other, different songs. Even on "Oh You Got Somebody," another classic Aaliyah track. He was beatboxing on there. Definitely enjoyed it. And basically, Aaliyah talking about like a dude that she likes and that she's trying to get with. And to her, like he's like Mr. Everything to her. He's like he's fine. And he's just that he got that John Blaze shit for her. And I definitely enjoyed that joint. Missy did her thing on here. She's saying, I don't know what it is. You're amazed everything you do, John Blaze. So she definitely was like her rhyme definitely fit the track, and I like her flow on the beat. Definitely a nice collab with Aaliyah and Missy, and they have a lot of great collabs together. Um, Definitely a stronger song on here that should have been a single as well. Um, Track 16, we get to another R&B joint, Playa. That was one of Timbaland's groups, featuring Static Major. Rest in peace to him again. They have like the birthday song that I know you mentioned that Knee Boy. The birthday song definitely a dope mid-tempo ballad, nice beat, nice bass line, and they singing about doing things for their significant other for on their birthday, and definitely enjoyed that song. That was dope. I think Player they should have had a more albums out, but definitely a bang on here, and yeah, they were underrated for sure. Um, Track 17, we get to another R&B joint. Virginia Williams featuring Missy. Missy's actually on the chorus for this song. She's singing on the chorus. Virginia Williams, I guess she was a singer that Timbaland was working with. I don't know of any things that she came out with, but I definitely enjoyed this song. It's like another mid-tempo track, real bass-heavy track, nice beat. I like Timbaland's use of the 808s and the hi-hats on here. And it's called 3:30 in the morning, and she's basically, um, the whole story of the song is her telling her boyfriend that even when she's out with her homegirls at the club at 3:30 in the morning, she's coming home to him, and letting her boyfriend know that when she's out with her homegirls at the club, she may get other guys coming to her trying to give her their number, but all she's thinking about is her man at home, and letting him know like, yo, like no need to be jealous because I'm coming home to you after the club. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely enjoyed that. I think a lot of women can relate to that. I think a lot of guys could relate to that, especially if you like one of them jealous, cats, and your woman is out late. You don't know where she's at. You hitting up her phone and she ain't answering. I think a lot of men can relate to that as well. But basically, she letting her man know that no matter where she's at or what she's doing, it's all about him at the end of the day. So and she killed it. I like Missy in the chorus, and definitely one of my favorites on here. We get the track 18, the outro, nice beat. You got Timbaland shouting out the Dirty South, and it's all about Virginia, and That was dope. I like that outro. Um, nothing really too much to say about that joint. The last track we got bringing it is Timbaland rapping again, featuring Troy Mitchell. I don't know this guy, Troy Mitchell. Never heard of him. I mean, he's a rapper. He sounds like the way that he was rapping. He sounded like John Legend. I mean, not John Legend. John Forte. But I like the beat, nice horn loop, nice bass line. Nothing really to it. Not really nothing spectacular about the track other than the music. Um, but yeah, that's basically the whole the whole album. Like I said, like most of the tracks on here, when you get to like the bottom part of the album, like the R&B joints with Ginuwine and Aaliyah and Virginia Williams, Playa, those songs were like the best songs. The Twista joint, Who Am I, the Fat Rabbit joint with Ludacris. Those are the best songs. Of course, Lobster and Scrimp with Jay definitely killed it. With Your Bad Self, Tumar, the two Man Skillz joints was great. I don't care for Timbaland rapping. I don't think he can rap. I think I basically bought this album because of the production, and I'm such a fan of his production. I think he's a legend. When it comes to production and bringing out the best in artists. No matter what genre it is, whether it's rap or R&B or alternative rock, whatever it was, I think he always brought out the best in those artists. So I love the production on here. It's definitely banging. I don't really, like I said, I don't care for him rapping though, and I can overlook that because on 19 tracks he didn't rap on everything. Like he rapped on maybe uh like 3 4 joints. That's tolerable compared to like a Swiss Beats album where if it's like 12 tracks, Swiss is like on 10 of them. You know what I'm saying? So I think it definitely had bang. I also think he picked the wrong singles. I wouldn't have picked the Can't Nobody joint as a single. I think definitely when you have your own stable on feature on your album, like the basement, you got Aaliyah, you got Ginuwine, you got Missy, you got Playa, Static Major. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like he could have definitely came out with those singles. Um, but I definitely I would give this album a 3. I think it's a 3. It's not a classic. I want to say like out of all his albums, Shock Values was cool, Lee Boy. That was cool. That was probably I want to say his best one. Um, this one I probably would put it right maybe third because I liked Welcome to Our World. They had some drinks on here, but like I said, like he's not no great rap on the mic. Like he's way better on the board. I think producers need to stick to their lane. Like stay in your lane, stay behind the boards. Don't try to go in front of the mic and make an ass out of yourself. You know what I'm saying? But and I feel like that about Swizz also. Like Swizz Beats, he was a great producer. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't care for a lot of his albums and trying to rap, and I don't care for that. Like Jermaine, for I think Jermaine got 2 solid albums as a producer. Like Life in 1472 and Instructions. I like. But again, he wasn't a great rapper. But being that he's a songwriter and he wrote hits in R&B for people and like in rap for like Crisscross and all that, he's more tolerable. I could listen to a Jermaine Dupri album with him on the mic compared to Swizz Beats and Timbaland. You know what I'm saying? But they all are great producers. You know what I'm saying? But um, they need to just stay in their lane. You know what I'm saying? So I'll give this a 3. Um, I like the fact that he wasn't all over the album when it came to produce. When he just produced the album and he wasn't all over the mic, and he just let the real professionals like Nas and Jay Z. You have both Nas and Jay Z on this album. You know what I'm saying? So and they were still in their prime. This is like Jay was on Hard Knock Life Volume 2 when this album came out, and Nas was on I Am when this joint came out. So about to drop I Am when this joint came out. So that definitely You don't need Timbaland on those joints when you got Nas and Jay doing their thing. So definitely um is solid production. If you're a Timbaland fan, go out and get it. It is out of print. I believe it is out of print. I didn't even show you all the booklet and shit. I'm slipping right now. This is the booklet. You got Tim showing off his jewelry. He was already like rich at this point, showing off the diamond rollie and the bracelet and the chain. You know, it's not really no pictures in here like that. Just got one picture of him. He look high as hell in the picture as well. The man look high as fuck. That's basically about it. You know. But yeah, they definitely have some bangers on here. You know what I'm saying? But it's not a classic, and I felt like he should have picked the better singles. Like if we picked like the joint with Nas and Mad Skillz, and you pick like some of those R&B joints, because R&B is like his strong point. You definitely had picked those joints. It would probably boosted the album sales or whatever. But I think the label gave him let him do this album because he was already a super producer at that point. When he did sell with the Magoo album, so they let him do this album, but it's okay. It's not great. Um, yeah, he sold. I heard that too. Like he was like him and Dre, and they sell beats for like a high amount of money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I might review that 1472. I do like I love 1472 more than this album. I'll tell you that. I definitely enjoyed that. And again, because the production on that album was great, the collabs on that album, and Jermaine is a songwriter. Like he knew how to make hits for like Jagged Edge and Usher, the Mariah Carey stuff. You know what I'm saying? All the crisscross stuff. He ghost wrote for all of their albums. You know what I'm saying? So Jermaine, I could give a pass because he know how to write shit, but he's not no great rapper either. But I enjoy his albums more than the Timbaland ones and the Swiss Beats ones. You know, you give it 4 mics, Sam? What's 4 mics? I thought you didn't hear the album. 4 mics, Ronnie? You giving this 4 mics? Wow. I don't know. This ain't no 4 mic album to me. Better production, Timbaland or Jermaine Dupri. Um, damn. Better production, discography. That one is hard, man, because that's a tough one. That's a tough. I probably gotta give the slight edge to Timbaland because Tim, like the stuff he's done for like Justin Timberlake's solo career, and for One Republic, and like he's done so like he's crossed over into like so many different genres. Like he did stuff for like Limp Bizkit. You know what I'm saying? Like he's done stuff not just for R&B and for rap, but for like rock and reggae and stuff. So it's like he like I put Timbaland on that same level as Pharrell. You know what I'm saying? Like Pharrell has done a lot of different things with different artists. You know what I'm saying? That you would look and you'd be like, yo, like Pharrell with Beanie Man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it'll still come out fire. Or Pharrell with like Buju Banton. You know what I'm saying? So, Pharrell with No Doubt. I talked about the No Doubt album on here, and Pharrell was a part of that album. I like artists that can be versatile and not just stay in the box and stay in their lane, and people try to figure them out like, yo, like, oh, well, you hip hop, so you stay in your hip hop lane. But then when they go outside of that and they work with, you know, a jazz artist or they work with a rock band, I like that, and it still come out dope. That's what it should be about. It should be about being an artist and being, expanding and being versatile, and not just sticking to one thing. You know what I'm saying? So um I give the slightest to Timbaland, but Jermaine Dupri, as far as like R&B, he was great. Like so many everybody in R&B went to him. Like if he wasn't going to R. Kelly, he was going to Jermaine for a hit. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a great songwriter. You know what I'm saying? Like he's great at you know making ballads for people, and then on the hip hop side, he was great at that too, doing stuff with Jay Z, doing all the crisscross stuff, doing stuff with Ti and anybody Nelly, everybody that was out, he was doing stuff for. So um, Jermaine is definitely a legend. Um, Shout out to what's his name, Renzo. What up, Ren? You asked, yeah, the Taker farewell. Yo, man, we never gonna have another Undertaker again. And the way I love the way that the WWE sent off Undertaker, and the way that the wrestlers were like dressing up as him and saluting him. That was great. You had everybody from Sasha Banks to AJ Styles, in the Undertaker gear, and that was dope. Definitely not gonna have another one like him ever again. He's a legend. I mean, I've seen Undertaker live and like different pay-per-view shows and stuff. So um, I'm glad that they took the time to properly give him a send off like that because he deserved it. He's a legend. He's won every title. He was like one of the biggest stars during the Attitude Era. You know what I'm saying? And one of the biggest heels in wrestling ever. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I definitely enjoyed that at Survivor Series. Timbaland should do a versus with Pharrell. Yeah, that would be dope. I know they mentioned Pharrell doing one, but I don't know if he would do it. But I would definitely tune in for that, man. Because those two producers are legends, man. Like you know, Timbaland and Pharrell would be a legendary battle. You put Tim and the Neptunes ahead of the RZA. Wow, RZA to me was great until like, see, I think you know the floods that he had ruined a lot of the potential solo joints from like You God and Deck and Master Killer. Those cats could have had some classic albums too. But I think over time, the Wu Tang, the more popular they got, the more endeavors that RZA was doing. He was like scoring films for Quentin Tarantino and directing and acting at the same time. And I think he lost sight of what was important. He lost sight of the clan and becoming his own brand. So um I think he fell off production wise, like I want to say after the W. Because Iron Flag wasn't totally produced by him. That was like they had other producers they brought in. They brought in the track masters. They brought in other producers. Same thing with Eight Diagrams. They brought in Easy Mo B. They brought in I think Fourth Disciple. Like the Wu Element producers were like working on those latter albums. It wasn't all risen like the first three. You know what I'm saying? So I think he fell off as a producer, and I would love to hear him. And then he was doing other stuff. He was doing other projects that wasn't rap. It was like alternative shit. So it was like we need that dusty beat RZA back. And I know he got it in him still. That's the RZA we need back. Will we ever get it back? I don't know. Um, you also got oh yeah, Home Again. I think I want to say we did Home Again already. I know because we did the New Edition discography last year. I think it was last year on Reggie's channel. On my channel, we did the DVD discography. That was 2018. It's like over 600 views now. So really appreciate everybody that was checking that out. And I love New Edition. That's my favorite group of all time in R&B. So that was really fun to discuss the discography. LSG, we definitely got to do because I got the first LSG album, That was a classic. Definitely need to talk about that album. Um, Keith Sweat and DMX joint. What joint is that? I don't know that joint. Keith Sweat and DMX. What song is that? Favorite Jay Dilla song. Man, it was too many. Ronnie. Favorite date Jay Dilla produced song. Damn, yo. Anything off of like Water for Chocolate. 'Cause like Water for Chocolate is a classic, and he did the majority of that album. Anything off of that album is like is great. Why do you think Chad doesn't get talked? Chad don't get talked about because Chad stays in like away from the limelight. Like they actually talked about that. They had a interview. They had a segment on. I want to say it was Genius, the Genius YouTube channel. Like maybe 2 weeks ago, they did a whole segment on the Neptunes. The Neptunes are actually officially back together. They was separated for a minute, where you just had Pharrell doing the like most of the production stuff, and Chad was like doing some stuff, but he wasn't around. But they officially back together, so they talked about that and why he was away. He chose to be away and not away from the spotlight. You know what I'm saying? And he's like more of a family man, and Pharrell was handling the majority of the like different projects or whatever. They did the new Scissor single hit different with Ty Dolla Sign. So they're officially like together again. So you'll see more Chad, out there. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's why you don't really hear about him because he chose to stay like away from the spotlight. That's what's up. Yeah, what up? Q, what's good? DMX and Keith Sweat. I don't. Oh yeah, yeah. DMX is on the album. I don't remember Keith Sweat on that Jermaine Dupri album. I gotta hear that. It's been a minute since I heard that album. I remember the DMX joint. That was Get Your Shit Right. One of my favorite tracks on there. Yeah, yeah. I definitely might have to try talk about that album. That Jermaine Dupri album. Definitely a solid album. Tonight, actually, we doing discussing Phil Collins' Face Value. First ever solo debut album after he left Genesis. I've been wanting to do that since February. So for whatever, I kept postponing it. I don't know why, but I was planning on doing that discussion back in February, um, before the whole COVID thing happened, and then I said I just hit Reg up like yo, like let's do it now. So 11 p.m. we're gonna be talking about that album. Um, just got off work. All right, how was your day? That's what's up. I'm glad you can make it on here after work. Appreciate that. Subscribe and like, comment, share. You know, this is all for the culture. I'm always on here. I love this, doing this stuff with y'all and y'all supporting me. I love it, man. Yeah, that's gonna be at 11 p.m. I have Reg on here for that. Talk about that album because that's an album that I grew up with. Being a little kid and playing Phil Collins in the house, and definitely enjoy that album. I never had a chance to really discuss it, so tonight we're gonna do that. I think the Neptune broke up because labels. I mean, that could be it too. I mean, Pharrell also was becoming a big star on his own, and he had his own solo albums out with In My Mind and Girl and I remember I think when Happy dropped, he had signed a deal with to come out with his own solo album. So he was becoming a star too, and then he ended up getting. I think he won at the Grammys. He got nominated for Happy. He got nominated at the Oscars. So he was becoming a big star, and you didn't see Chad around at that point. Like back in like 2014, 2015, you didn't see him. So I think that had a lot to do with it also. You didn't like In My Mind? I actually liked it. I do have that album. again, Pharrell, I prefer his singing more than his rapping. Because I've heard stuff like there was a mixtape that he did with DJ Drama. And that was around the same time that In My Mind came out, like '06, '07. And the beats that he rapped on, like the Liquid Swords beat and the Incarcerated Scarface beat, he sounded like crap. I don't ever want to hear Pharrell rhyme on a Wu Tang beat ever in his life because he can't rhyme to those beats. And when I heard that, I realized like yo, like he can't rhyme. Like he's a better singer. Like he can do his little Marvin Gaye medleys and shit. He's good at that. But when it comes to rhyming, he's not no great rhymer. You know what I'm saying? Great producer. But again, a lot of these producers that step out on the mic and they want to come out with their own album, they can't rhyme. They great at the beats, but then rhyming is not their thing. It's not like if you got Q-Tip or Lost Professor on the mic, they can spit. You know what I'm saying? You get Eminem on the mic, he can spit. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to hear a lot of these producers, jump on the mic and they just saying any old thing, and then they fill their album up with a bunch of features because they got the money to get a Jay-Z or Nas on their album, and they work with them on their own album. So, but Pharrell is not a great rapper, but I do like the album because it wasn't all rap. Like he did sing on different joints, and of course, he had the big features with Jay-Z. He had Snoop on there. He had Pusha. He had Slim Thug, Nelly. He had everybody on there. Gwen Stefani. So I like the album because of the collabs and the production. But he's not no great rapper. You know. Um, One in a Million or Oh You That Somebody. Damn. I gotta go with Oh You That Somebody was big, yo. That was bigger than One in a Million. You know what I'm saying? Like when that song dropped in '98, that song was everywhere, yo. That's like one of Aaliyah's best hits ever. The Snoop joint was a banger. I like the Snoop joint was cool. I like the Snoop joint from the Nerd album, from the Clones album. That one was even better. The was it blow smoke? I forgot the name of that joint. You know what I mean? I like that Snoop joint from the Clones album. That the Snoop joint on In My Mind, I ain't really care for. You don't like Clones album? Oh, you just don't like the Neptunes then? I got the Clones joint also. That Clones joint was good. Like again, another compilation album, and it was just like basically showcasing different artists over the Neptunes beats. You had Ludacris on there. You had Jadakiss. There's a joint with Jadakiss and Supercat, the reggae artists. You have Khaleesi's on there. The Clips. Basically, that was like the first collab with the Re-Up Gang. You had Sandman on that joint. You had Roscoe P. Cold Chain on that joint. Hot Damn, the remix. That was dope. Busta Rhymes was on that joint. Got a lot of different big names was on there. And Pharrell wasn't on all of those songs rapping. That's what I liked about it. It was just more of a compilation type of project. I like that more than In My Mind though. Yeah, he didn't want to be in the spotlight. Well, they talked about that. I mean, y'all could go into the YouTube Genius channel, and they'll have it, the segment where they talked about the Neptunes like reuniting and all that. They talked about all that. Like he didn't want to be in this. He was doing other things also. I think he had like a rock band or something that he was a part of, that he was like working with them. While Pharrell was doing his solo thing. And he was taking care of his family and stuff. So. What's my favorite producer turned rapper? I don't got none. My favorite producer turned rapper, none. Cause I don't look at Timbaland or Swizz as rappers though. Like you know what I'm saying? I think they just do it just to say like they did a song with so and so. but I don't look at them as rappers. Pharrell, like again, like Pharrell to me, I don't look at him as a rapper. Like he's better, doing his little singing thing. You know what I'm saying? What up, Wacko was good. Uh, Hot Damn or Hot Damn. Hot Damn, that was dope. Yay, yeah, but see, but Ye was doing that at the same time though. Like he was rapper and producer at the same time. Like when he got his deal with Rockefeller, it's off of like joints like through the wire. Like he was already like I remember hearing mixtapes where he was like freestyling. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know who he was back then. But he was like, and this is before like no, this is after I want to say like after the Blueprint came out because he did like the Blueprint album for Jay. But when I heard him on like mixtapes rapping, I didn't know who he was. You know what I'm saying? So Kanye, probably I would say Kanye. If you want to say rapper, producer turned rapper, it would be Kanye because Kanye can actually spit. You know what I'm saying? Um, Ye was doing both. Like when Ye was doing Blueprint, I don't even think he I don't even think Jay and Dame knew he was a rapper. Like he came to them as a producer. You know what I'm saying? So and I think and Kanye to me got way better albums than Timbaland and Swizz and Pharrell as an artist. His discography is one of the best. Um, Girl was cool, even though it was like 10 tracks. I liked it. Happy was the big song off of here. I liked the song with Justin. The song he did with Alicia Keys was dope. I agree. At least Dr. Dre can rap pretty. Yeah, that Dre was cool. Dre, even with Dre, I seen him more as a producer than rapper. But Dre was cool for the time that he was with NWA and this, of course on the even on the Chronic and Chronic 2001, he had Ghost Riders. He had Nas right for him. He had Dre. He had Jay Z right for him. I think Jay Z wrote Still Dre. If I'm not mistaken, he wrote his rhymes for him. Yeah, I seen the Grammy nomination. Everybody's been talking about that. Like to shut out the Weekend is just crazy because I love that Weekend album. I think it was the best pop album this year, easily. And to shut him out of the Grammys, I don't understand for Beyonce. What did Beyonce drop other than the Lion King short film? Like she didn't come out with no album. You know what I'm saying? I don't get that. That's just crazy. And I think it's because of what Weekend said about the Grammy. The Grammys, listen, they've been fucking up for years. Like we know this already. This is nothing new. This is why a lot of people are turned off from the Grammys and they don't watch the show because of this same thing. Because he came out and he said what he said about the Grammys bunching up artists in the same box and them changing the R&B category to what is progressive R&B? That's something that they did the minute that George Floyd got killed. So they changed the whole R&B category to progressive R&B. I didn't know progressive R&B was a genre. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely like if that's why they shut him out of the category because of what he said, then he don't need the Grammys. He already got his Grammys anyway. He won Grammys before. You know, winning a Grammy doesn't make you it don't hold no weight like it used to. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I seen people post about Freddie Gibbs got nominated with Alfredo and Royce got nominated and Nas. I mean, so are they gonna televise it? Because they usually don't televise the rap category. You know what I'm saying? Like nominating Royce and Freddie Gibbs is cool, but are they going to actually show it on TV? Because if they don't, then I don't really what's the big hype about? I don't get hype for the Grammys no more. Like I used to get hype. Like when I was younger, I used to watch the Grammys all the time. I don't get hype for it no more because a lot of the artists don't show up because of what the Grammys don't show our. categories. They show country, they'll show pop, they'll show rock. You know, best producer of the year. They won't show the rap category. They won't show R&B categories. They used to. They stopped doing that a long time ago. Now it's at the point where you got to go to the Grammy website to find out who won because they don't show it. You know, so it's like I don't care about the Grammy. The Grammys been getting it wrong for years, man. You know what I'm saying? So I mean that's cool for like the blogs to talk about and people that the mainstream cast to talk about. I don't really care about the Grammys no more. It don't hold no weight no more. You know what I'm saying? How do you have a rap category with Nas and Freddie Gibbs and Royce and there's no Griselda? Griselda been dropping nothing but heat this year. Not no Benny. Come on. No Conway. West Side. All the joints that he dropped this year. Fly Awesome Guy 2, Who Made the Sunshine, Pray for Paris. No Griselda. But you got D Smoke. Who the fuck is D Smoke? You feel me? Like I don't get again. The Grammys always get it wrong, so I don't look for them for. I don't think any artist in this day and age should look for them for gratification. You know what I'm saying? And there's so many different projects. We didn't even Stove God Cooks and Ransom. There's so many other solid albums out. Shay Noah, Apollo Brown. None of them get mentioned, but you just pick. Oh, nah, okay, we're gonna pick Freddie Gibbs, and Freddie Gibbs album was dope. You know what I'm saying? Nas album was. I kind of already knew that Nas was gonna get picked because he's never won a Grammy. So I'm pretty. I'm looking at Nas as the favorite to win that category this year. He's never won a Grammy. Not for Illmatic. Not for It Was Written. I Am. Stillmatic. Nothing. He got nominated for shit, but he never won. You know what I'm saying? No Griselda. Yeah, I know who Sir is. I get it, but no Griselda. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Weeknd had the best album this year as far as pop, in my opinion. He had the best album. Justin Bieber album was dope. I got both of them. Okay, salute to Justin Bieber. He did his thing. But Weekend album should be in those major categories, bro. You know what I'm saying? You put in Eilish for a song from a movie that's not even out. That song that she got nominated for is from that James Bond film. It's not even out yet. That James Bond film not coming out till like what next year? You know what I'm saying? How do you snub the Weekend? Like, come on, I don't understand that. Lady Gaga had a good album. I liked her album. Chromatica was dope. Probably her best album since I want to say The Fame. Because I didn't like that. Art Pop was okay. That was cool. It had some bangs on that. I didn't like the album she did with Mark Ronson. But Weekend, like the biggest hit, Blinding Lights. How was that not nominated? At least for record of the year. Eric is saying Billie Eilish. I think I'm saying her name wrong. She's like the teenage white chick. She talks about depression and drugs and shit. She won last year. Last year was her year. She got the major awards last year. She beat out Lizzo, and I thought Lizzo had a better album than her. Okay, I listened to Lizzo. I got Lizzo's album. Okay, I listened to Billie Eilish album. Okay, Billie Eilish album was good, but I don't think it was better than Lizzo. Not to beat her out in the major categories of record of the year, album of the year. Nah, nah, they fucked up. Grammys always fuck up. We know this. This is nothing new. They've been fucking up for years, man. There's so many artists in different genres where I looked at the nominations. I'll be like, yo, how come Maroon 5 wasn't nominated? How come, Coldplay wasn't nominated for this? You know what I'm saying? Like, they always do this. This is nothing new, But to blatantly shut out the Weekend, that's just crazy. Um, Better discography, Pete Rock or Dilla? I gotta go with Pete. I love Pete, man. That's my favorite producer all time. Now that's a dude that could rap. You talking about producer rapper. You listen to NY Finest album, or you listen to Soul Survivor 1 classic. Soul Survivor 2, you know, Pete is definitely a dope producer turned rapper. Definitely highly underrated. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm happy Gibbs got nominated. I mean, I hope he, if he win, cool. I think Nas should get it because Nas has never gotten a Grammy, and that's ludicrous to say that he's never gotten nothing for none of his classic albums. At least give it to this man before he dropped dead. No, don't wait till he dropped dead to give him some tribute Grammy. Like you could have gave it to him when he was alive and breathing. But I'm glad, Alfredo was a dope album. So yeah, we got it for cheap volume. So that was definitely dope. Definitely slept on. They they've been doing Snoop Dogg, Buster. There's so many artists that don't have a Grammy. They've been nominated, but they haven't actually won. To get nominated is cool, but you want that trophy in your hand. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they never get it right. I don't think people care about the Grammys no more, man. Cause they've been doing this forever. My whole thing is they don't like. It's like if you're gonna nominate a genre, then show the category on TV. Don't have people going to your website so we gotta look for the winner, or you doing it during the pre-show because they don't show the pre-show. They show the red carpet special. They don't show the pre-show. The pre-show is like the show before the actual show go live on the air. That's when they give the win. Yeah, when was the last time you seen the reggae the Grammy Reggae Award being televised? They don't do that. You know what I'm saying? They've never done that. I've never seen the reggae category televised. They don't do that. Reggae music to them is like irrelevant, but they still have a reggae category. And every year they have a Marley nominated, whether it's Sip Marley this year or Julian Marley or Stephen Marley or Ziggy. Any one of the Marleys are always nominated and they win. They never show the winner. They do that in the pre-show before the red carpet special on the E channel. You know what I'm saying? When you have a rap has been around for 40 something years. This is the most powerful genre ever. Okay? You have to if you're gonna have a rap category, you should show it on TV. It's only right. You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense to have a rap category and you don't televise it. It makes no sense to have an R&B category and you're not televising. You know what I'm saying? But you have no problem televising the country award, best country album. You have no problem televising best rock album. You have no problem televising, record of the year. You know what I'm saying? Like this genre is the most dominant genre ever. When are they gonna get it through their heads that you gotta show the genre, man. You gotta show these people you nominating. People want to see them. Their fans want to see them. Freddie Gibbs fans want to see him in a suit and tie, going up those stairs to get his Grammy. Same thing with Nas. Same thing with Royce the 5'9". You know what I'm saying? So it's a disservice to this genre still in this day and age of what they doing, and they just don't get it. I was gonna mention it. We go whack. I was gonna mention it later anyway because and I really didn't care, but I seen so many articles and websites and blogs talking about the shutout for the weekend that is enough is enough. Like come on, like because he spoke out about them and rightfully so about them boxing all of us together, but and he was right. They have a problem with that. So now you're basically telling artists that you can't speak out against the Grammy committee because if you do, we're just not going to acknowledge you at all, no matter what album you got out. No matter if the album was a great album or not, they're just gonna shut him out. And I think it's unfair. You know what I'm saying? I don't think if you did the same thing to BET, they would have did that to him. Even though I think even with BET, their award shows are relevant as well. But I don't think our own people would have did that to us. This is the Grammys. They're conservative. They're uppity, and this is what happens. And it's unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Snoop Dogg never. How did Snoop Dogg never win a Grammy for Doggy Style? Who? What album beat out Doggy Style in 1993? I want to know. Okay, because that is crazy. That is one of the best albums, one of the best rap albums of all time. For Snoop Dogg to not get a Grammy for Doggy Style is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? For Wu Tang, we know we saw ODB fly up on stage and yell Wu Tang is for their children because they lost to Puffy that year. I remember watching that. And Wu Tang had the better album than No Way Out. No Way Out is great, but it's great because of the features. It ain't great because of Puffy rapping on it. And it's not better than Wu Tang Forever. You know what I'm saying? So yes, Wu Tang got robbed by Puffy for that Grammy. They should have had that Grammy. You know what I'm saying? 50 Cent too. I think another thing is 50 dropped so many hits and he got his classic albums and they didn't recognize 50. And I think it's because of the whole street, vibes that he brought. You know what I'm saying? The whole violence and all that he brought to, you know, I don't want to say himself, but the antics that was going on with him. And they totally ignored 50. And I think that's what they're gonna do with Griselda. They're gonna do the same thing with them. They're gonna do the same thing. No matter how many solid albums they drop, the Grammys will overlook them. You know what I'm saying? Because rap to them is not street. Rap to them is about nominating Chance the Rapper. You know, that shit. And I'm not taking nothing away from Chance because I like some of his projects. I loved Acid. Acid Rap was a dope mixtape. I like Coloring Book. But that's the type of artist the Grammys are going to nominate first. They're going to go after the Chance the Rappers or the Mac Millers or the Wiz Khalifas before they nominate Griselda. You know what I'm saying? Because that, like I said, they have the committee is old and they uppity and they don't know about the culture. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. People could disagree all they want. I know it. I've known it for a very long time, even when I was younger. I've known it. So when you see people like Snoop get don't get recognized for doggy styles because of shit like that, because they don't recognize Snoop as, oh, that's too hardcore. Let's nominate some. You ever seen NWA get a Grammy? No. Totally ignored NWA because that's too street for them. They not going for street. They're going for the commercial. So MC Hammer and Drake will get Grammys before Nas and before not even Nas before Griselda. I don't expect Freddie Gibbs to win. I think they just threw him in there just to throw him in there. Without Flex Talk, salute. Rest in peace, Mac Miller. Definitely is missed. I'm a huge Mac Miller fan. EPMD. You know what I'm saying? It's too hardcore for them. They're not going for that. They're going for like every now and then they'll drop in a you know an album like that artist. Let's throw in Freddie Gibbs. Let's throw Royce in there. 'Cause Royce is safe. He's a lyricist. He's not really on no bang bang shoot 'em up. Let's throw Nas in there because we never gave Nas a Grammy. And King's Disease was a good album. You know what I'm saying? The Freddie Gibbs thing, they probably just threw him in there because they didn't want to. There was nobody else really. They like, oh well, we're not gonna throw Pop Smoke in there. Let's throw somebody in there to keep them quiet. So we're throwing Freddie Gibbs. Where's Griselda? You know what I'm saying? So this is what they've been doing. They've been doing this forever. And more than likely, they're not gonna show that rap category. You're gonna see like the winner during the commercial break, or you're gonna have to go to the website to find out who won. That's what they do. George Clinton never won a Grammy, and he's in the Rock and Roll of Fame. He never won a Grammy. That's crazy. All the classics he's done, the classic songs that rappers have taken to sample and make classics out of their own, and he's never got a Grammy. Redman. Like, you know what I'm saying? That I mean, I'm not surprised. Like, it shouldn't be a shock to nobody. This is what they've been doing. You know, and I don't think it holds weight. And I think because of that, I don't think the artists care anymore. Like, it doesn't hold weight like it used to. Like back then, back in the '80s and '90s, like when you got a Grammy, like when the Roots got a Grammy for Things Fall Apart, that was a big thing because that was like that's still to me like my favorite. Well, I don't want to say that because I do love Philadelphia Half Life, but Things Fall Apart is right there with that. That was a big thing for the Roots to win for that album. You know what I'm saying? And that was a cultural game changing album for the Roots. You know, so as a fan, I was happy that they won for that album. But it's not like that no more. It's not you know when you start having like a different artists like not coming deliberately to the Grammys is because like yo they don't want to deal with all the politics and the crowd. And I think that's what it is now. So a lot of artists don't care. It's like they don't hold no weight like it used to be. YG got snubbed, and YG I like his albums. I didn't hear his recent one, but I still Brazy to me is an underrated classic. Definitely enjoyed that one. You know, Rick James, look, a legend. They snubbed him. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what happens. This is what they do. Yeah, they exactly Wacker. They go. I mean, look, I love Eminem. Okay, love Eminem, but let's be honest. Eminem is not dropping classic material like he used to, and they still nominate him, and he still managed to. How is he still managed to get nominated for bad albums, but you can't nominate Griselda? I don't get it. You can't nominate Stove God Cooks. That could have easily been Stove God in there for Reasonable Drought instead of Freddie Gibbs. That could have easily been Ransom or Shay Noah and Apollo Brown, and they just totally overlooked them. Sade never won. See, legends you talking right now. Yo. New Edition never. My favorite R&B group all time never got a Grammy. That's crazy. But what I'm saying, Q, is even if that's the case, even if they felt like the lyrics are too misogynist, it's too violent. Rap has always been that way. It's from the street. Unless you're just listening to Will Smith or you're listening to MC Hammer, it's always been like that. You can't keep going for this safe pick and be like, oh, well, we're gonna nominate Eminem. Look, Eminem say crazy shit. He talked about dumping his baby mama in the trunk of a car. Like, that's not violent. You know what I'm saying? So, what is different from Eminem when he's in his Slim Shady mode than what Griselda is saying? I don't get it. I don't like I said, like I don't put stock in the Grammys. I mean, I like to watch the live performances. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the artists go all out for those live performances. But as far as like I don't think nobody should trip over that because we know what the great albums are. Even if the Grammys snub it, we know that Weekend album is great. That's the best album this year to me, as far as pop. Okay? Great album. One of his best albums ever. Even if the Grammys don't acknowledge it, I'm gonna acknowledge it. You know? Yeah, Tupac. Like exactly. Another point I'm saying, Q, like Tupac was, he had his moments, you know what I'm saying? And they might have been like, oh well, he's too violent for the image that we're trying to portray for the Grammy. So we're not gonna nominate All Eyes on Me. We're not gonna nominate Machiavelli. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get that. It should be about the music. If you can nominate Ozzy Osbourne did a lot of weird shit. Devil worshiping and all that. He still gets nominated. If Ozzy Osbourne drop an album today, the Grammys will acknowledge that. So what is so different with rap? If you can acknowledge a rock artist and he's worshiping the devil, what's wrong with us? Marilyn Manson, I believe he got nominated for Grammys in the past, or he might have won. He wasn't no squeaky clean artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think? Rap started in some romper room or something, or some daycare. This is from the streets, yo. Everybody you saying now are all legends. Jodeci, Sade, Rick James. I don't even remember half of those them even being nominated. But the fact that they never won should tell people something. They going for the safe pick, you know. Jodeci to them was probably too thugged out for R&B, so they went with Boyz II Men. That was basically the rivalry at that point. It was Boyz II Men and Jodeci. Anytime you heard about Boyz II Men, you heard about Jodeci, and he created this whole rivalry with them and the bad boys of R&B against the preppy boys from Philly. That was a thing. Aaliyah, crazy. That she should have been had Grammys. Yo. That's crazy. I'm not even gonna watch it, and it's so different now with all of these award shows with the pandemic and they doing it online and all that, and I don't care. I didn't even see the American Music Awards. I didn't care to even watch it. It's crazy, man. Heavy D, rest in peace, Heavy D. None of them won. Like, this is what they do. Favorite MOP album? I love Firing Squad. Firing Squad, Warriors. Those two albums. I mean, but basically all of their albums for our First Family for Life. Definitely some great albums. Nah, I didn't hear the new Saha. Yeah, I think somebody mentioned that to me. New Saha. I didn't hear that one. But I definitely check that one out. You're not missing nothing, Eric. I mean, like I said, like I used to watch the Grammys because it was like a tradition. Like in our household, watching the Grammys and being excited back then for to like just to talk about at that time like who's gonna win best R&B category, who's gonna win best rap category, who's gonna win best pop. Especially when Michael was out with Thriller, that was a big thing. When he was out with Thriller, when Prince was out with Purple Rain, I used to look forward to those shows. It's not like that no more. You know what I'm saying? Diana Ross, wow. Keith Sweat, yeah. That all of those are legends. Like, why were they snubbed for who? How do you snub Diana Ross? Who was winning her awards? Who was winning Keith Sweat's awards and shit? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I used to be hyped for those award shows, American Music Awards, Billboard Awards, because I used to follow Billboard religiously, just looking at and seeing who was gonna be number one, and purposely going out and buying certain albums so that they can make it number one for next week. You know what I'm saying? And realizing how the industry works. You know what I'm saying? And I watched all of those shows, MTV VMAs, you know, iHeart Awards, all that. But it's not the same no more. You know what I'm saying? That luster for the Grammys is tainted because of stuff like this, where you don't even have like Jay-Z and Eminem showing up for the award shows no more. They've won and they wasn't even there. just totally snubbing the Grammys like they snub us. So I don't think artists cared anymore like that, like how it used to be. Back then, it was a big thing to be nominated for a Grammy and actually winning. But now it's like it's not a who knows if I don't even know how they doing it. Like you know what I'm saying, we still in the pandemic. How you doing an award show? Is it gonna be online? Because if they actually doing it in an arena, like who's gonna actually show up? Is Nas gonna actually be there? Or Freddie Gibbs? And it's a shame that Freddie Gibbs is nominated and he might not even be there. You know, mint condition. Yeah, every all of those you naming, dead or alive, they're all legends, and they ain't nominate. They ain't get a Grammy for nothing because they went with the safe choice, which is probably Mariah and Whitney, and you know a lot of those artists they probably went nominated instead of them. Groove Theory, you know what I'm saying? They need new blood in the committee. You know what I'm saying? They need new blood on that committee. They need more younger people that understand the culture and the climate of music. Not these senior citizens that's calling shots and they changing categories over what's happening in society. I never heard of progressive R&B. I don't know what that is. You know what I'm saying? Like they changed the R&B category to what is progressive R&B? Weekend is not progressive R&B, so I don't know what that means. You know, they don't get it. Like just like the Oscar committee too. It's like we need more people that understand what's going on. Not these cats is like about to be in middle age homes and shit. They don't understand the times. They don't understand the climate of entertainment, and I don't get it. Foxy Brown, yeah. I mean, I didn't realize all those artists didn't get nominated, but that's a shame. MC like, I don't. It's not even a rant. It's just I'm already used to this. Like this is not. I'm not even ranting about the Grammys because they always do this every year. We see it. I can't think of one year where I was satisfied looking at the Grammys and saying everybody won that needed to win because they don't always do that. They never do that. It might be one person you want to win. Everybody else gets snubbed for somebody that don't deserve to get nominated. It's crazy. Are y'all like looking up? Are y'all looking up this stuff on Wikipedia now or something? Because I didn't realize all these artists didn't get nominated. Queen Latifah never won a Grammy. Brian McKnight, it's crazy. You know, it is what it is, man. Award shows, nobody as you're an artist now, that shouldn't be gratifying to you is winning a Grammy. As long as you know that you dope and your fans know it, that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't know what they changed the category when they announced the nominations. Progressive, and that's something that they did when George Floyd got killed. You know what I'm saying? Because you had different artists, that was coming out that was making songs in protest or in honor of George Floyd. Like Anderson .Paak dropped a song and he got nominated. You know what I'm saying? The Weekend comes out and speaks about how the Grammys are bunching us in one box, and he gets punished for it. So you're basically telling your artists, you're basically telling artists that you cannot speak out against the Grammy committee because if you do, this is what will happen to you. You will be not acknowledged for your work, no matter if it's a great album or not. You know what I'm saying? So they made some category up because Anderson .Paak and other artists came out with songs because of the death of George Floyd, and they called it a progressive R&B category. I don't know what that is. So if an artist, so if Beyonce, or if not even Beyonce, if an artist like Stevie Wonder comes out with a protest song, all of a sudden he's progressive R&B. That's the name of the category, progressive R&B. It's on the Grammy site. It is a new category that they made up. You know what I'm saying? So the weekend is not progressive R&B. That is a new thing. That's something that they did. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that is. They have to explain that to people. What is progressive R&B? Because I've never heard of that genre. You know, and I just think it sucks. They don't know what they're doing, and that's why I say it's like as an artist, people should. I don't think it holds weight anymore like it used to. Is back in like 96, 95, 96, when Mariah Carey got nominated for the Daydream album, like 13 nominations, and she lost all of them. That was a big thing back then. In 2020, if she came out with the Daydream album, I don't think people would care that much. I don't think she would care because the Grammy itself don't hold any weight like it used to. It's good to brag about, like, yes, I got a Grammy, but we know the Grammys get it wrong. You know, that's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? I always like the Grammys to see the performances because the artists always went out of their way to put on the best show for, like, the casual fan that's not aware of that, or that wouldn't normally listen to their music. You know what I'm saying? So I remember, like, when Nicki dropped, when she came out with Pink Friday, and she did the Woman's Revenge and Your Love, and she was like, they made a big thing about her performance because she had like the burning cross and all that on stage. That was a great performance. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be controversial. It's the Grammys. You know what I'm saying? Like, all artists are like that, even with the red carpet and what they wear on the red carpet. You know what I'm saying? When Eminem said what he said about the LG, the gay community and the LGBT community was in an uproar, and he ended up coming out on stage with Elton John at the Grammys. That was a great performance. You're supposed to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's gonna open up fans that don't normally listen to you. That's gonna bring those fans to your music, and that's how you introduce them to who you are as an artist. Get people talking, and then they go out and they check out your album, they stream the album or whatever, they buy it. You're supposed to do that. So I always like that for the performances. Like, all as far as the categories, they always been getting it wrong. That's nothing new. And they've been getting it wrong. I don't tune in to the show for that. I just like to see the performances. When Rihanna performed 4 5 seconds with Kanye and Paul McCartney on stage, first time they ever did that song, and to see like Paul McCartney with Kanye and Rihanna, that was a epic performance. You know what I'm saying? Like, who would have thought this? You would see like a Beatle performing with Riri and Kanye. Like, that to me was a great performance. I like that song. You're supposed to do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But the categories, not the categories. They got to change. The whole voting system got to change. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if they ever see, they don't do that like how the VMAs do when they have like the Viewers Choice Award. The Grammys will never do that because now you're giving the power to the fans. They don't want that. They want to be able to control the situation. You know what I'm saying? Because if the fans act, it's like if the fans voted for the Grammys like how the fans vote for the NBA All-Star game or the Pro Bowl, it would be chaos. It would be chaos. They would never do that. They need to do that though. They need to open it up to the fans where the fans get a say in the voting for each category, no matter what category it is, whether you love jazz or whether you love progressive R&B. I don't know what the hell that is, or you love country music, whatever. Opening up to the fans make these artists like the record buying public, the streaming buyers, opening up to the fans where they can have a say in who should be nominated and give them like like how they do with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they open it up to like 5 artists you get to vote to see who gets inducted. That's how they need to do it. Like give the fans like 5 to 10 picks for each category and let them vote. So they have a, not just so you don't just have your the industry and the artist's own peers voting. You have the fans actually voting and having a say in the winner. That's the only way it's going to change. It's either that or they get some young, fresh blood in that on that committee staff because this is ridiculous. You know, Eric Benet is a good singer. I'm not familiar with a lot of his albums. I know some of his songs, but he's a good singer. 87. I don't even remember that. I don't even remember 87, man. I couldn't even tell you one back then. But it is that's the only way things are gonna change with the Grammys. They got to get young people on the Grammy committee that know the music and know these artists and know the genres that they supposed to be in. And you're not just throwing anybody in. Look, they threw Cisco in the year that he got nominated for a Thong Song. They threw him in rap. Cisco don't rap, and that's a spot that could have went to somebody else, but he had it because they didn't know what genre he was from, or because he was on Def Jam. They figured, oh well, he's a Def Jam artist. Let's put him in the rap category, even though he does R&B. So that's a spot that Cisco took away from somebody else that rightfully deserved that spot because again the Grams don't know what the hell they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So they need younger people on the committee, and they need the fans to have a say in the voting. That's the only way it's gonna change. And same thing for Oscars too. You can't. I mean, you can't try to capitalize on Black Lives Matter and shit like that, and then it's like, oh well, you throwing us a bone. Oh, well, you give Spike Lee a nomination for a movie, and that's it. It can't be about Black Lives Matter. It has to be about doing it the right way. The Oscars got it fucked up too. They need to change as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, just make it R&B. Why does it have to have a stupid name for it? They don't show that category, and they stopped showing that category a long time ago. They don't show that category unless it was Beyonce or Rihanna leading the votes. They don't show that category when it comes to R&B. Beyonce and Rihanna. R&B don't start with Beyonce and Rihanna. Okay, that's the only way they're gonna show it. If one of those big name artists are a part of it. When it comes to like Jasmine Sullivan or Frank Ocean, or they don't show it. They totally ignore the neo soul artists. They don't care to show them. You have to be like John Legend for them to show your cat. And I don't even think they would put John Legend in pop before R&B. This is what they do. So basically, Griselda might never get acknowledged. They got to do pop shit for them to get acknowledged. They're not gonna nominate Griselda and artists like that. That's too hardcore for them. They going with the safe pick. Ohio plays. Everybody y'all saying, I don't even remember. You know what I'm saying? I never knew Ohio plays never won a Grammy. It's never been about a war. As long as the music is good to me, that's all that matters. I don't care if they have no Grammys, like because they don't. That shouldn't define who they are as an artist. And it's sad because when I had this discussion earlier with somebody, when we talking about rap and we talking about top five of all time, a lot of people will put the big names in there because oh well this person got sold so many album sales and They got Grammys. It ain't about Grammys and album sales. When we talking about, at least for rap, when we talking about top five all time, it's not about album sales. Nelly got he went diamond with Country Grammy. He went diamond with Nellyville. Is he a great rapper? Y'all putting Nelly in top five all time on Mount Rushmore? I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm going by who I feel like is deserving of those top five slots, and some of them might not have a platinum plaque. Redman is a great lyricist. When was the last time he went platinum? Same thing with Black Thought. As far as like, well, other than the Roots, and the Roots don't got too many platinum plaques, but he's a great lyricist. So it can't be all about album sales and accolades. You're going by their talent and the way that they move the culture forward and the impact that they had on the genre and their peers and how their peers, you know, switch up might switch up their album or whatever when they joint drop. So it's not about album sales and accolades. You know what I'm saying? People feel like, oh well, if you don't put Jay-Z in top five, something's wrong. Yeah, Jay-Z got platinum plaques all over the place, all kind of accolades. We talking about bars. We ain't talking about accolades. So if Jay-Z's not in your top five, it don't mean that you're not a hip hop head. It just means that he ain't in your top five. Somebody else might feel like he's deserving of that spot. He don't gotta be in your top five because every album he went multi platinum. You know, that's just how I look at it. Because they'll be, you know, I might have Jay-Z high on my list, but it ain't because he went I don't even like all Jay-Z albums. There's some that was trash. I ain't putting him in my top five because of his album. I'm putting him in top five because of the impact he had on the genre, and because he's a great lyricist. But that's what it's about. Yeah, Doctor Name went platinum and blackout, but he's not a artist that was accustomed to doing that. So that was a big thing for him even back then. Same thing with Mobb Deep. They wasn't going platinum like that, but they are a great top three, top five great rap group ever, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not putting Mobb Deep there because oh well they went platinum with Murder Music or with you know what I'm saying? It's not about that. I'm putting them top five because that's one of my favorite groups and they definitely what has a solid discography, one of the best duos ever. And them just like Nas put Queensbridge on the map. As far as like the 90s, everything coming out of Queensbridge during the 90s and 2000s was heat. What do you think about Gene Simmons? I think Gene, it's like again, like Gene Simmons he belonged with the Grammy committee because I mean, I don't look at rock stars is a term that should be used in every genre. It shouldn't just be oh well, if you're not literally doing rock, you're not a rock star. Okay, Michael Jackson wasn't literally doing rock, but he's a rock star. He's an icon. He's like God to me. You know what I'm saying? Like my introduction to music was Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when Michael died, it's like we lost we lost a musical god. We lost a genius. You know what I'm saying? You know why can't a group like Wu-Tang Clan or Outkast be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because they're not doing rock? They're not doing what Kiss and what Black Sabbath and Megadeth was doing? No, those are rock stars in every sense of the word. You know what I'm saying? Gene Simmons just want to be one of those gatekeepers and one of those, people that feel like, oh well, I'm a true rock star. I don't want these people involved in my shit. When was the last time you ever seen Kiss do a rap song or rap collab? They don't do that shit. You know, they might be cool with a lot of these rappers, but they ain't actually jumping on the track with them. You know, they might even live next door to a rapper in a nice suburban rich neighborhood, but they're not quick to jump on a track with Eminem and shit, or with Jay Z. And I'm pretty sure they know who Jay Z is. They pretty sure they met him. You know, I think everybody deserves a shot to be there, no matter what genre. You don't have to necessarily be doing death metal. You know what I'm saying, to be in the Rock and Roll of Fame. You know, that's why we building our own hip hop hall of fame for our own artists, to salute our own artists, so that we ain't got to deal with Gene Simmons and his hatred for rap. Because once that hip hop museum is built, we get to say who goes in there, not Gene Simmons, not none of these culture vultures and these gatekeepers of their own genre. They don't want nobody else allowed in they shit. We get to say like, yo, Cool Mo D, you belong in there. Roxanne Shante, you belong in there. You know, Curtis Blow, EPMD, all of these artists that will never be in the Rock and Roll of Fame. We have our own museum coming, and that's great. That's what we need. We need our own museum so we can salute our own artists. You know, they can keep their Rock and Roll of Fame, and you can keep Green Day, you can keep Linkin Park, and I love those groups. But if Linkin Park and Green Day can one day be in there, why not our artists? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, y'all can keep Green Day in there. We're gonna salute our own artists. Yeah, QB Finest album was fire. Definitely, that's an album I haven't talked about. I definitely got to discuss that. That was a great album. Like what Nas did to put that on his own label and salute the Queensbridge legends like Craig G and Marley Marl and Roxanne Shante was on that, and then to incorporate it with the artists of that time that was doing it like CNN and Cormega and Nature. That was a phenomenal album. You know, the Grammys ain't gonna acknowledge no album like that. Yeah, I don't know if Diane is not. Diana might already be in it though, but she might be in it with the Supremes. That's what they usually like. You come from a group, they'll salute you first with the group, and then they'll salute you as a solo artist. I don't know if Diana is in there by herself. Living Color, yeah, definitely, definitely. You know, but like again, they might never pay tribute to a group like Living Color. You know what I'm saying? They might be on the cusp of making it, and they might not get in. You know what I'm saying? I don't want them to force our artists in there. Like they should don't feel like you need to put Notorious B.I.G. in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame just to shut us up. Like if you induct in artists like that, induct them because they rightfully deserve a place in there, not because of what Gene Simmons had to say, because he don't know what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? If when you induct Tupac and N.W.A. and Biggie, those artists induct them because they rightfully deserve to be there. Just like when you induct ZZ Top or you induct Green Day or you induct Guns N' Roses, you know, don't put them in there just to shut our people up. Like, oh, well, let's give them this, let's give them Biggie, so we won't have to hear no drama. Nah, don't do that because then it's fake. Then you're not being genuine about it. Rufus, I think Rufus is going in this year actually. Cause the ceremony, I don't think the ceremony they aired it yet. But Rufus, I think they got in this year. The Fat Boy, they'll never nominate the Fat Boys. The Fat Boys is a group that the hip hop museum gotta have to they have to salute them. I don't the Rock and Hall of Fame ain't gonna they don't notice them like that. Same thing with New Edition. Like unfortunately, they might never get it, and they've been in the game for over 30 years. They might never. That's something that maybe the hip hop salute them for their contribution because everybody ain't getting in. I didn't see that. I heard about it. I didn't see the performance. I seen the picture with carpet, but I didn't see the performance. I gotta see that. That's crazy. I definitely need to be out though. I don't want to spend too many minutes left on here. Um yeah, 11 p.m. Phil Collins album discussion, face value, 1981 debut solo album from a legend. Definitely gonna put some respect on that album because I grew up with that album. Classic in my opinion. Definitely gonna talk about it with Reg. We'll be back at 11. Please join us. Subscribe to the channel. Like, comment, share. It's all about the culture for me, man. That's what it's about when I get on here. You know, tell everybody that hasn't joined yet. Subscribe to this channel. Got good things coming. Salute to everybody. Eric, Ronnie, Q. You know the day ones. Um, Renzo, Whacker, Whacker. I definitely got to hit you up about that animated joint we got to do. Um, Everybody that showed up, man. D boy, salute to you. Definitely be back in a couple hours. If you're able to join, come through. And we definitely gonna continue this convo. I know Reg's gonna have about this later, so definitely we'll hit you all up. Flicks Talk, salute to you. Thank you for joining. Peace out, man.